If your team, if the implementation, if the project people weren't so dang good, it would be a completely different experience. It's been wonderful so far, honestly. Zero regrets. Knowing what I know now, we're 3 months post-launch, and the whole thing could be absolutely terrifying. It could be a complete disaster. In our experience, knowing what we know now, 3 months post-launch, if I could go back and talk to myself from 10 months ago as we entered the official due diligence process, be like, psst, hey, Applied did what they said they were going to do. This wasn't nearly as bad as you thought it might be. Yeah, I think 10 months ago me would love to hear that this went a lot better than it could have. I'm James Jenkins, CEO of RiskWell in McKinney, Texas. I'm born and raised in Texas. I'm one of those obnoxiously proud to be from Texas people. Been in the industry about 13 years. I was a farmer's agent for about 6.5 years. I know, captive agent, don't hold it against me. Our team now is 14 people. We are very focused on commercial and real estate insurance, and we don't really have any producers. Our whole company is inside sales, and then me, I'm kind of the rainmaker. So we don't really have a traditional producer model here at RiskWell. So what led us to start a due diligence process and move over to the Applied ecosystem? We were on another platform. Not as well known, not as widespread for more sophisticated, larger agencies. And we have 14 people that work at RiskWell now. And it got to the point that we really recognized that our AMS was a real bottleneck. It was causing problems from process, from workflow, from efficiency. It was complicating our labor cost, really just making a huge mess of things. Didn't talk well to other platforms, and it was just a real bottleneck. And a pain point, not just for me, but my entire team as well. So we entered into a formal due diligence process, and we spent about 2 months of formal DD and got it down to Applied Epic and a competing product from another large, well-known firm. We don't name names around here, but you probably know which one it was. It's the other one that people tend to put right up there with Epic for consideration purposes. And going through the DD process, it became really clear, to my surprise, that it wasn't even close, honestly. And I say that as someone who's been a paid speaker for another company's conferences multiple times. I have great relationships with this other company. And I walked into the DD process fully expecting it to be an outcome in favor of them. And Applied came in and was like, not so fast, my friend. And yeah, 2 months later, we're signing a contract for Applied. So it was a surprise, but it was not close. I mean, almost every possible checkbox went in favor of Applied, which I don't mind saying it. I was shocked with the outcome in a pleasant way, and a positive shock. The step-by-step thing of each piece of the puzzle of Epic, of Indio, of CSR24, of the dashboards, of the fully integrated accounting, like literally every piece of it, it wasn't close. Even down to the UI and the basic color scheme. It was like we put it side by side, and my team's first response was, that one is clunky. I don't like the button layout. I don't like how you have to do the workflows. It seems like there's more clicks than there should be. And then you come over to Applied Epic, and it's like, oh, I instantly like this one better. Just from the clickability, if that's even a word. Because at the end of the day, as principals of agencies, sometimes we get in our heads too much. We think about things that rank and file team members, the ones that actually use these products day in and day out, we think about stuff that they don't think about. We are giving priority and preeminence to things that the rank and file team members don't care about. And I think sometimes when we as principals bring these kind of expectations into a conversation, they can be counterproductive. Involving my staff in the entire due diligence process, I mean, it made for a much better outcome and allowed them to feel ownership of the process because they definitely had a say in what we ended up choosing as a company. I might be the one writing the check and paying for stuff, but they're the ones that actually do the things with these products. And they overwhelmingly, unanimously picked Applied Epic and the plugins that bolt onto it. What benefits have we seen since implementing Applied Epic? I will say, for starters, the process of migrating and launching and onboarding, I was scared to death of that because moving to a new AMS can be terrifying. It can be clunky, it can be painful, it can be very disruptive for normal business operations. And I gotta say, starting with Austin Misbach and the rest of our team, David Durst, our salesperson, everybody at Applied throughout the entire process did what they said they were gonna do. And that, to me, speaks volumes. When someone says something in the sales process, you always take it with a bit of a grain of salt. But throughout the entire process, 6 months worth of preparation, data migration, making all the pieces fit together the way they're supposed to, doing the conversion of old data, old formatting into new data, new formatting. Oh my gosh, what a massive headache that could have been. But the team at Applied, literally every single one of them, we had probably a dozen different people we worked with during the migration, during the launch, during the onboarding. And now, as we record this, we're about 3 months live on Epic. And man, they just did what they said they were going to do. And that, to me, as someone who's responsible for making sure that my team has what they need to be successful, I've got a tech vendor partner that I know is going to do what they said they were going to do during the sales process. And to me, that is just as important as efficiency, as productivity, as tight workflows, as tech that makes people go, ooh, that's cool, because that's what our clients have done more than anything else. That's a huge positive, because when we put a piece of technology that's client-facing in front of the people that pay the insurance premiums, that help us do what we do, that are literally the ones generating revenue for our company, when they're looking at a piece of tech that we decided to buy for our agency, and they're the ones going, ooh, this is nice. Why didn't you guys do this a few years ago? I mean, it's just affirming in the best way.